Are we live? Are we live? I think we're live, man. I think we're live. Man, oh man, oh man. Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard and the WWE just made this entire Monday Night Raw show last night look like a total fucking joke. When I mean joke, I mean this show was worse than last Monday's Monday Night Raw episode. This was bad. This show was fucking awful last night. Absolutely fucking awful. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. I'm Brendan Ingram here. I'm here with your June the 15th, 2020 Monday Night Raw review. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to go over. As far as your June the 15th, 2020 Monday Night Raw goes. So, first of all, I don't know if I told y'all this yet or not, but did I tell y'all that Simone G. Johnson, The Rock's daughter, blocked me on Twitter? Yeah. Simone G. Johnson, The Rock's daughter, The Rock's real daughter, blocked me on Twitter. Yes, she did. Yep, she sure did. She blocked me on Twitter. And I actually got the retweet. I retweeted her tweet with a comment, and I'm going to actually read to y'all what I said to her as soon as I fucking get to it. Let me find it. Wait for it. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. But yeah, she blocked me on Twitter, man. Apparently she got upset because of what I said. I did say it wasn't nothing about her. It wasn't nothing against her, though. It wasn't nothing against The Rock's daughter. And I hope The Rock is here watching. I hope he understands that this is nothing against his daughter, man. So I retweeted with a comment. I retweeted Simone's tweet with a comment. She had a party emoji, and she had a emoji with 2-star eyes. And she had a hashtag WWE Backlash on her tweet. So I retweeted with a comment. I said, and I quote, "How can someone like you get excited over WWE Backlash? The show was nothing more than absolute garbage," which it was, which I proved that it was by doing my Backlash review. I proved that this show was absolute garbage. I said everything about this show. I said a lot of bad things about this show. Everybody on Twitter said a lot of bad things about about Backlash 2 days ago. A lot of people did. I seen the comments. I don't blame them. Can you blame them? So it says that I retweeted Simone's tweet with a comment saying, "How can someone like you get excited over WWE Backlash? The show was nothing more than absolute garbage. You of all people should know that WWE has done nothing to boost up the Raw and SmackDown ratings." That right there shows that Vince McMahon cares about nobody but himself. Right when I retweeted that, she blocks me. I went to her account and I got blocked. She blocked me because I said that. The only reason, let's be honest, the only reason why The Rock's daughter blocked me because she knows that I'm telling the truth. When somebody blocks you, that means when somebody blocks you and when you're telling them the truth, that means you're telling them the full truth. So she blocked me. See, that was suspicious that she blocked me. Blocked me because I was telling the truth about the WWE. Telling telling the most truth about WWE. I feel like I told the truth, man. She's one of the NXT Performance Center recruits. To those of you who don't know who Simone G. Johnson is, she's The Rock's daughter. She also happens to have a mom, the one that her father, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is married to. Her mom. But, yeah, all I did was just telling Simone G. my thoughts on Backlash, which the show was absolute garbage. It was. Backlash is just like last night's Monday Night Raw, basically. Except for this show last night was a lot worse. And then I'm trying to figure out what the hell were Christian and Big Show doing on Raw. What the hell are these guys doing on Raw? We don't need no old talent on Raw. Why is Vince McMahon calling up old talent from Attitude Era to Raw? Why? These are guys from the Attitude Era, Christian and Big Show. You calling old talent to the roster. That's what I'm talking about. And see, old talent that comes to mind, MVP. Why is MVP still on the roster? They need to write him off television. MVP needs to get off television. The guy sucks. He's not doing anything to boost up the Raw ratings. I don't even know why they got MVP on TV. And why in the world isn't there no Aleister Black on TV? Oh, that's right, because Paul Heyman got fired. Why is there no Shayna Baszler on TV? Oh, that's right, because Paul Heyman got fired by Vince McMahon. Wow, man. Be sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button. Click the thumbs up for the like button. Turn on the all bell for notifications, so you won't miss my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown reviews that I do every week on this channel. So, I'm going to immediately get right to it with the review, because I want to get this done quick. I want to get this done quick and over with. I want to get it done. Because I am so sick and tired of reviewing a show that's going to keep fucking continuing to get garbage week after week after week. I'm sick of absolute garbage Monday Night Raw shows. I'm sick of reviewing Monday Night Raw shows that have been garbage week after week. I'm sick of it. I really am. I am. Seriously. If I was a fan, I as a fan would be embarrassed to watch Monday Night Raw shows such as this one. Monday Night Raw episodes such as this one. I would be embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed as a fan. I encourage some of the NXT superstars not to let them call you up to the roster. I'm warning you, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream. I wouldn't go to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown if I was you. The shows have become worse since this coronavirus pandemic. I would not let WWE call you to the main roster. I wouldn't go up there. It's gotten bad. Trust me. It's gotten bad. Tommaso Ciampa, I wouldn't even let WWE call you up to the main roster. Because they're just going to fucking bury you, just like they're doing with Angel Garza, just like they did with Angel Garza and Andrade last night. Fucking waste, man. Fucking waste. They just buried those two like they were nothing, man. Buried. Just like how Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott was buried when Charlotte Flair defeated them a few months ago. Buried. Buried. For what? Nothing. Because they weren't used. They got buried because Vince McMahon doesn't like them, and he doesn't want to fucking use them. He doesn't want to use the talent that's on the roster, that's on either roster. He doesn't want to use them. Anyways, I'm fucking getting started with this review. So, tonight's Monday Night Raw opens with the announce team telling us that Drew McIntyre will team with R Truth to face Bobby Lashley and MVP. First of all, who fucking cares? Who wants to see that match? Who fucking cares about this tag team match? From what I've been hearing on Twitter, from what I've been seeing on Twitter, this tag team match was nothing but a joke. I don't have to find out because I already know. That's why I didn't even watch the fucking show, because I knew the show was going to be absolute garbage, let's be honest. It was. Just like Backlash Sunday was. More like back trash anyway. The Viper, Randy Orton, made his entrance last night Orton defeated Edge in a grueling, intense match. More like almost the greatest match ever, but not quite there kind of match. Yeah. So, yeah, Orton comes to the ring and he says that he knew all along that Edge wasn't the same competitor. He tried to help him, but he was stubborn. He trusted Edge years ago when he saved him from self-destruction. So Edge should have trusted him in January. He wasn't the last man standing at WrestleMania, but he stands there tonight. Last night, he won the wrestling match ever, and that makes him the greatest wrestler ever. Really, it makes both of them not the greatest wrestlers ever. And he has to thank Edge because he lit a fire in him. The kind of fire that only comes from ending the career of a legend. He says he knows Edge isn't here because he's injured, but maybe their paths will cross again. He said the paths will cross again in, let's say, 9 years. Really? Who fucking cares? Really? Who fucking cares? I mean, WWE's not producing and writing these shows right, man. I mean, how are they gonna... tell me how the fuck they're gonna cross paths. WWE's probably not even gonna put them in another feud again. They probably done scrapped this fucking feud by now. They're probably not even gonna let this feud continue now that Edge is undergoing surgery. So, then we got Edge's best friend, Christian, coming out. So, he says he knows what kind of man Randy is. He's a cold, calculated son of a bitch. And he knows what kind of man Edge is. He'll be back, and he'll end his career on his terms. Orton says this isn't about Christian. It's never been about Christian. He's just jealous. Orton says he knows the look in Christian's eyes. So he knows him better than he knows himself. Christian is the only one out here because he wants more. He wants one more match. Then Christian denies it, but Randy says he knows Christian hates that, like Edge. He had his career taken from him. Well, how about they go to the well one more time and have an unsanctioned match tonight? What the hell is unsanctioned? What the fuck is that? That was a stupid match name to come up with, first of all. Second of all, I don't even know why they booked this match with Christian versus Edge. They made Christian look like a fucking joke. Christian, you wasted your time coming to Raw last night, man. They buried you, man, just like they did with Andrade and Angel Garza. Christian doesn't answer. So Charlie Caruso interviews Angel Garza. Oh, here we go, folks. Charlie Caruso last night interviews Angel Garza and Zelina Vega backstage. Vega denies any rumors of dissension in her group. Garza says he feels for Andrade for losing his United States Championship. Tonight he will take on Kevin Owens. And afterwards he'd like Charlie to come out and interview him. Andrade walks up and shakes Garza's hand, saying that he hopes he can beat Owens tonight and hopes he can get over the disappointment of getting pinned last week. Yeah, we sure about that? Anybody sure about that? I ain't sure about it. So, yeah. I don't even know why they had Christian coming out. So they said a huge surprise was going to make a huge return was coming to Raw. Come to find out that huge return was Christian. It was none other than Christian. Why? My question is, number one, why would they have Christian come to Raw? And number two, they know that Christian is a retired wrestler. A retired wrestler. Not well, he's a professional wrestler. I was going to say professional, but he is a professional wrestler. Well, he's a former professional wrestler. He's not anymore. He's a retired wrestler. He's not even technically in the WWE. Well, he is in WWE, but he's a retired wrestler. I mean, why would they, first of all, the point is, why would they have Christian come to Raw? I don't understand. Why? And what the hell was Ric Flair even doing on Raw? That's my question. What the hell was even Ric Flair doing on Raw? Yeah, I seen Ric Flair on Raw. What the hell was he even doing on Raw? I don't get it. What was he doing on Raw? What was he there for? Nothing. Same as Big Show. What was he there for? Nothing. Not a darn thing. So the match to start off Monday Night Raw was Kevin Owens versus Angel Garza with Zelina Vega. Just give me a second as I pull up Angel Garza. There is Angel Garza. Now we need to pull up Zelina Vega. There is Zelina Vega. So, this was the first match to start off last night's Monday Night Raw. So this is what happened with this match last night. So, Garza runs instantly for a drop kick, but Owens avoids it and uploads on him. Owens backs Angel into the corner, but out comes Andrade, music and all, and Zelina looks pissed. Owens attacks Garza again and chops him in the corner. Garza rips the pants off, but Owens knocks him from the ring. Andrade and Garza get into a shoving match at ringside, and Vega gets between them. She says she is sick of it all and storms off. Commercial break. Back live, and Garza is beating Owens down in the corner. He runs for a seated senton, but nobody's home. Owens kicks and chops him, then runs for a cannonball, but Garza rolls to the apron. Garza hits Owens with an enziguri, then a missile dropkick for a 2 count. Owens comes back with right hands and a headbutt, but Andrade then pulls his foot and causes a distraction, but Garza is the one who gets distracted, and Owens hits a stunner for the win. Andrade shakes, after Kevin Owens' win, Andrade shakes his hand like he did what he could to help. Vega comes down to the ring as Andrade and Garza are arguing. She yells that they need to fight together because they want the same thing. The trio leaves together. Folks, a true fucking waste. A true waste of Garza and Andrade. Andrade has been absolutely wasted in his entire main roster run. And Angel Garza losing as often as he has just looks just as bad, man. It's like, why is nobody over, you know? Why are ratings down? Because nobody can possibly give a shit. Terrible. Fucking terrible, man. It's fucking terrible. So we see a replay of last night's WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, which nobody honestly gave a shit about, but they gave one hell of a fight. They put on one hell of a fight in the ring against each other. MVP and Lashley are backstage, and MVP says he guarantees it will be smooth sailing from here. Sarah tries to interview them, but MVP is rude and says they're going to address everything right now. This was a fucking garbage backstage interview from MVP and Bobby Lashley. Garbage. Fucking garbage. Absolute main roster garbage. Moving on. MVP and Lashley come to the ring, and the former champion, I guess, says that last night, after 13 years, more like a fucking failure champion, former champion. Anyways, after 13 years, Bobby Lashley had his night ruined, and Drew McIntyre had the audacity, capitalized on the circumstances. MVP says Lana come down looking for attention, as she always does, and costs Lashley the WWE Championship. Don't be surprised if Bobby Lashley reaches his breaking point on Lana. He says she has been explicitly told time and again to steer clear of the ring. Lana comes down with a microphone and she says it was Lashley's idea that she stay away from ringside. She wouldn't do anything to hurt him. She even puts his career ahead of hers. She got a divorce for him. All his blessings came from her. MVP calls her a thought, and she says she has cost him everything. Lana says MVP is a snake, while MVP says before he came along, Lashley couldn't give a sniff off the main event. Lana says everything was perfect. They were on a hot streak. Lashley asks her when was the last time she won anything but a bunch of likes on social media. And he had a chance to make his moment, but she made it all about herself. He says he is sick and tired of her putting their personal lives on social media. Lana says Lashley is delusional. That if she wanted to use sex for attention, she would have slept with someone more famous, like Drew McIntyre. Lashley says he wants a divorce and storms off. So, get a recap of the anything you can do, we can do better segments. And see some highlights. Well, anything WWE can't do, they can't do better. Just like anything, if anything Vince can't do, he can't do better. He can't even make these Monday Night Raw and SmackDown shows better. Fucking shame. And see some highlights of last night's ridiculous brawl. Sarah welcomes both teams backstage and asks if they have an endgame for how to figure out who is the better, or who is the best, so to speak. I don't really fucking care about this. Ford says the plan was to end it last night, but instead they had to assemble to fight a greater enemy. Motorcycle ninjas. Really? Fucking motorcycle ninjas. Really? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Fucking awesome. What a fucking joke. Akira Tozawa and his ninjas walk up as they're discussing a cinematic universe. Cinematic universe, my ass. And he asked for a sequel. They say they're doing for a sequel anytime. Tozawa calls in his 7-foot ninja, and they share a stare down. Says he has an idea. Yeah, WWE look more like WWE need to be having more ideas. They need to be using their young talent rather than using their old talent. Because the young talent is the fucking future of WWE, for fuck's sakes. Anyways. So, folks, nobody was fucking interested in the Viking Raiders versus Akira Tozawa and Ninjas with Big Ninja. Who the fuck wanted to see this match? Really? They put this match for Monday Night Raw, this match as another one of the matches for Monday Night Raw last night. Oh my god, fucking awful, awful, fucking awful. Folks, I can tell you right now, this fucking match was awful. It only took like two fucking minutes. This match was 1-2 fucking minutes. Eric starts the match against Ninja 1, and he hits a drop kick, then tags Dawkins, and he hits a big spear. Eric scoop slams Dawkins onto one ninja. Let me remind you that these guys are the Viking Prophets. I really don't give a fuck who they are, and I'm just telling you. Ninja 2 runs in and forward tags in to hit a drop kick. Tag to Ivar, who throws forward into into Ninja 2. Where the fuck it is. Eric gets the tag as two ninjas run in and get spine bustered forward, and Ivar hits stereo splashes from the top and score the pin. The Viking Prophets do a 4-man high five. Then Akira Tozawa comes in with Big Ninja. Before all hell breaks loose, the Big Show comes out and lays out all the ninjas with WMDs. The Viking Prophets celebrate with Show as Tozawa and Big Ninja retreat. This was the worst fucking match on the show. This was the worst fucking tag team match on the show. Worst. Now you see why I said this show was worse. Even worse than what it was last Monday. Oh my god, boy. They made this show look fucking bad, man. They made this show look awful. It's fucking funny that they made this show look awful, man. It's just fucking funny. Because WWE's gonna continue to fail, and enormously fail, and obviously fail. Anonymous fail. They're gonna keep failing. WWE's just gonna keep delivering garbage shows week after week after week. Because they don't fucking care. All they care about is themselves. Just like Vince McMahon, all he cares about is himself. Vince McMahon. Ugh. Who gives a fucking shit about the Viking Prophets going against the Ninjas? Really? Who wanted to see that? Nobody needed to see that. Really? Why is Big Show on television? Why was Big Show on television anyway, to begin with? Why? Why was he on fucking television? We don't need to see Big Show. We don't need to see 40-something-year-old Big Show on fucking television. Jesus Christ. They're trying to make the ratings look worse, are they? Fucking hell. Welcome to the Paul Heyman-less era of Monday Night Raw, folks. Akira Tozawa was a legit fucking ninja on Raw, folks. And they had the Big Show show up as the Viking Raiders and the Prophets back up. Folks, if you speak positively about this show, you're absolute fucking puppets and you're absolute fucking idiots. Let me tell you why. Because of the simple fact that I could see why Paul Heyman is not in charge. I mean, it's clear that, it's fucking crazy, man. It is. But seriously, I can see why Paul Heyman is not in charge. Vince brought in Christian and Big Show to Raw. Heyman was willing to sacrifice ratings to build the future. All Vince McMahon cares about is the now fucking awful. All he cares about is the now. He doesn't care. He doesn't believe in fucking patience. Vince McMahon doesn't believe in fucking patience. I mean, I can't lie about patience because I don't even have patience. But still, Vince McMahon doesn't care about patience. He just doesn't. He really doesn't care about patience. So let me get this straight, y'all. Let me get this fucking shit straight. So you mean to fucking tell me that we needed the Big Show to tell us what should have been an obvious conclusion? What should have been the end goal the entire time, minus the fucking ninjas? Awful. Awful, awful, awful. WWE embarrassed this show, made this show like an embarrassment. So we see Seth Rollins walking backstage. He's stomped by Caruso for an interview. Seth says he has plans for Ray tonight, which happens to be last night because the show was last night. And anyways, he wants Dominik as well, and he knows Dominik is here despite his father's wishes. He's going to the ring now to deliver a message to the legend. Okay. How can this show get any? How did this show? Why? I don't. I'm trying to. I'm just trying to process, man. It's fucking hard to think, man. I just can't process. I got this thing wrapping around my head, figuring out why now? Why WWE decide to make these shows worse now? Oh, is it because these shows have been epic failure? No, it's because really, I think, in my opinion, it's because the writers and the producers are not writing their shit right. They're not writing their stuff right. The producers are not producing these shows right. The writers, the WWE writers, they're not writing these shows right. Something's not right, man. They're not making these shows look right. And it's got to have something to do, it's got a lot to do with Vince McMahon. SmackDown and Raw ratings are all Vince McMahon's fault. And now Vince McMahon wants to change NXT. That's going to sit unhappy with Triple H. That's not going to sit unhappy with Triple H. I'm telling you. Triple H is going to be unhappy. And if he plans on changing NXT, USA Network really has a reason to be unhappy with Vince McMahon now. I believe they really have a reason to be unhappy. I don't fucking blame them, man. I mean, really. I really don't fucking blame them. This is fucking ridiculous, man. I don't know why Vince McMahon had to make 2020 WWE look worse. I don't know why he had to make WWE this year look worse. Hey, 2020 is already starting to be the worst year this year. You got crime, violence everywhere. You got fucking people throwing fucking trash cans out the darn house. You got people throwing trash cans out the house. And you got accidents. You got all these freaking robberies and all this freaking stuff that's going on around the world. And then you got this thing called coronavirus pandemic going on. All kinds of crazy shit going on, man. Then you got the fucking government, the civil rights bullshit that's going on. And then you got the fucking protests that's still going on around the world. Protests, you notice the protesters have slowed down a bit, but there's still more protesters going on. They're protesting about George Floyd and Breonna and all them people that got shot and killed by unarmed police. Yeah. But you got a whole bunch of shit going on. And then 3 people got arrested where I lived in, which I happen to live in Salisbury, North Carolina. 3 people got arrested. They got arrested for having possession of guns and drugs and all that stuff in their car. I've seen it on social media. It's all kinds of stuff happening in this world. It's gotten crazy, man. Anyways, so it went on commercial break. So when they came out commercial break, we see Christian on the phone backstage. He says he knows all the risks, but he doesn't know if he can let Randy Orton away. If he let Randy away with this one. Ugh. I feel so tired. I feel like ending this fucking review already. Just saying. I mean, I feel like ending this review already and just go watch JD's podcast on his Monday Night Raw review on his channel. So the Monday Night Messiah comes to the ring. Seth says he came out here last week and kindly invited Rey Mysterio to come to Raw tonight, just to have a conversation to clear the air, and that's because Rey is a hero who sacrificed himself for the greater good. Unfortunately, the same thing Seth Rollins said every week that he shows up on Monday Night Raw WWE television. The same thing. That's the same thing he said every fucking week. Every fucking Monday that he shows up on television, he says the same thing. I mean, he's developed a new character. I mean, he's doing good with his new character. I mean, you can't deny that. But that's not helping the ratings. Seth Rollins' character is not helping the ratings. Seth Rollins' abilities in the ring is not helping the ratings. Nobody on that roster is helping the ratings, helping the Raw ratings, in my opinion. There's some talent that are trying to help the ratings. Some talent from NXT that I think, in my opinion, are trying to help the ratings go up. But see, Vince McMahon bringing old talent like Christian and Big Show to the roster is not going to boost up the ratings. It's not. So Vince McMahon can stop whatever kind of bullshit he's doing. He can stop with the bullshit, all that bullshit he's doing. He can stop all that. He can stop trying to call up old talent to the roster. Don't be surprised if he tried to get The Rock to come on Raw. Don't be surprised about that. Don't be surprised if we end up seeing Stone Cold and The Rock being brought back. Don't be surprised if we end up seeing Goldberg being brought back again. Boy, I sure hope he don't bring these old talent back to the roster. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, I have much respect for Stone Cold, Goldberg, and The Rock. But it's time for the young talent to take over. You got all these talents on the roster that's getting older, man. It's time for young talent. It's time for NXT kind of young talent to take over, man. But Vince McMahon's not letting them. He's burying them instead. Young talent like Angel Garza and Austin Theory and all them. He's burying superstars like that deserves the major push in WWE. And then I think you got the Asuka and Nia Jax feud continuing. I thought that shit was going to end. Oh, Lord. Tired as fuck. So, Monday Night Messiah comes to the ring. Seth says he came out last week and kindly invited Rey Mysterio to come to Raw tonight just to have a conversation to clear the air. And that's because Rey is a hero who sacrificed himself for the greater good. Fortunately, Rey has declined, but his son Dominik is here. Mysterio appears on the screen and tells Seth he didn't know Dominik was on his way to Raw. That he's giving Seth one warning. Rollins is offended by the implication that he would hurt Dominik. He says Dominik is part of the greater good, and he implores Rey to help Dominik. Seth wants Dominik to join his cause. Rey is flabbergasted and says, "No way." Rollins says, Rollins says that Ray is leaving him with very few options. Like what WWE has right now, very few options. Either they can let the young talent be the future of WWE, the future of the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown roster, or they could just fucking cancel WWE, period. They could just cancel these shows, period, and forget it. I mean, they're not making these shows look better, man. Might as well cancel these fucking WWE shows. But I'm not gonna lie. Some of the talent on the Monday Night Raw roster, some of the young talent on the Monday Night Raw roster are doing a fantastic job in the ring. As far as ring wise, as far as in-ring skills. I just don't understand why Vince McMahon would bring Christian and Big Show to Raw. It just makes the ratings look worse, even worse. It really does. It makes the ratings look a whole lot worse, and they probably are looking worse right now. Guarantee you they dropped a whole lot. Guarantee you the ratings dropped a whole lot. I bet. Guarantee you they did. I can guarantee you. So anyways, Seth says Ray's leaving with him very few options, that Murphy and Theory are out. They're looking for Dominik right now. Ray says if Seth hurts Dominik, he will end him. Rollins says an eye for an eye. That's what Ray said. Dominik only has two options. Stand with him, the right side of history, or make the same choice that Ray made. Seth drops to his knees, but Dominik attacks him from behind. Dominik attacks Seth until Murphy and Theory come running. Dominik ducks and dodges them and escapes through the crowd. Seth is incensed. Yep, he's incensed. So MVP and Lashley are backstage. Oh my god. MVP and Lashley backstage again? Were they just backstage the first time? Yeah. But now they're backstage the second time. Again. So, they were backstage again when R Truth walks up. Truth says he wants to give his condolences, but he can't remember the word. So you mean to tell me R Truth can't even remember a fucking word? What a fucking joke. What a fucking loser R Truth is. Truth says he feels bad because Lashley went to Claymore country. He doesn't even know where that is, but it sounds far and he must be jet lagged, and now Lashley is getting a divorce. Who fucking cares about this backstage fucking segment or interview or whatever the fuck it is? So that's a Raw deal. Lashley threatens Truth, but he just walks off. They said the Firefly Funhouse returns this Friday night. Oh, please enlighten me. I can't wait for that fucking shit. Can't wait for WWE to fucking fuck that over. Can't wait for the fucking Firefly Funhouse. Can't wait for WWE to fucking screw that. Can't wait for WWE to bury Bray Wyatt. They're probably going to bury the fucking Fiend this time. It's so bad that they're probably going to bury the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, by having Braun Strowman defeat him to retain his Universal Championship once again. Guarantee you that's going to happen. They're going to continue the feud. Braun Strowman's probably going to win the feud again. So, Firefly Funhouse returns this Friday night. Plus, Miz TV will host both Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. And AJ Styles will have a celebration for winning the Intercontinental Championship. Great. It's going to be another fucking terrible Friday Night SmackDown this Friday night. Great. Fucking great. I'm all in for the Sonya Deville Mandy Rose thing, though. I'm just not all in for that Miz TV thing. AJ Styles, I'm all in for AJ Styles celebration, too. I wonder how good that's going to be. But I'm not all in for the Miz TV crap. I'm not all in for those. Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho ho. More like Miz and Morrison. Go away. Anyways, MVP and Lashley are walking around. They're walking around because that's exactly what they were fucking doing. Walking around. Like for what? What the hell are they walking around a warehouse area of the Performance Center looking for R Truth? Why the hell would they be walking around a warehouse area of the Performance Center? This goes to show how stupid WWE is right here. Just goes to show. Why? Why would they be doing this? What the heck? Really, WWE? You got Lashley and MVP walking around a warehouse arena looking for the Performance Center. Warehouse of the Performance Center. Looking for R Truth. So they find him under the ring, and he says he's looking for ninjas. Drew McIntyre appears, and he tells Lashley he needs to get rid of a leech like MVP. MVP gets made and tells... Well, MVP basically gets mad and tells Drew that he has helped Lashley realize his potential. As he says, if Drew is a true champion, then he'll put his WWE Championship on the line. And Truth will put his 24/7 championship on the line. Winner takes all. Truth agrees, but McIntyre isn't happy. I wouldn't be happy either. The only thing I'm not happy about right now is last night's fucking Monday Night Raw garbage. That's what I'm not happy about. The only thing I'm not happy about is the fact that Bruce is taking over Raw and SmackDown as executive director, as vice senior president. The only thing I'm also not happy about is that Vince McMahon is writing these fucking shows. Fucking A. Oh great. We got something else that happened on Raw. Oh great. That made the ratings even worse. This match made the ratings even fucking worse. And I feel so bad for Liv Morgan. Fucking great. Oh, fucking great. WWE's gonna rub another match right in my fucking face. Great. So, now about the Dominik and Rollins segment in the ring. Dominik versus Rollins. And he joins Rollins, Theory, and Murphy. So JD actually called it last month. He said it, I think he said it either on Twitter or on his podcast. That was Monday Night Raw review last Monday. So he thinks it's gonna happen. I agree with him. I think it's gonna happen too. WWE's probably gonna make it look like garbage. Let's be honest. Yeah, more than likely going to make it look like garbage. So, about R Truth, Drew McIntyre. teaming your WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, with R Truth, the 24/7 champion, who has been a absolute fucking joke. Funny, but a joke. And the championship has been an absolute failure and comedy show. Sounds like a Vince McMahon, Bruce Prichard era to me. Where's this importance? I agree. Where's the importance? I mean, really, where? I don't get it. I really don't fucking understand this bullshit. I don't understand. It's a fucking joke. The R-Truth, what a fucking joke, man. I told you all that R-Truth was a fucking joke. Told you all. Wow. So great. Now I gotta read y'all an even more worse match that we got on Monday Night Raw last night. It was the IIconics, the Idiotics, the Moronics, the don't get on my TV Onyx, get the hell off my TV Onyx. Let's be honest. I don't want to see you on my TV Onyx. I'd rather see Liv Morgan bury the IIconics than the IIconics burying Liv Morgan. Poor Liv Morgan, I feel so bad for her. I feel so bad for Liv Morgan. So it's the IIconics, the Idiotics, versus Liv Morgan and Natalya. I feel bad for Liv Morgan. I also feel bad for Natty. Because I feel like WWE is burying Natalya too. It's like WWE's not using these women in the women's division. The women's division is looking worse. Hell, because of the android, Charlotte Flair. Speaking of the android, Charlotte Flair, she showed up on television last night. Oh, she fucking showed up on television. Yep, she fucking showed up on television last night. So let me tell y'all exactly what happened with the IIconics, the Moronics, the Idiotics. So, Peyton starts against Natalya, but quickly tags Kay, and she drops her before posing. Kay taunts Morgan, then Natalya rolls her up for a 2 count. Morgan tags in and drops Kay with a dropkick. Royce hits Natty and distracts the referee while Liv pins Kay for well over 3 seconds. Royce with a blind tag, and they hit their finish on Morgan for the pinfall. So, basically, poor Liv Morgan. Basically, WWE thrown into a storyline that went fucking absolutely nowhere. So, was given some momentum, and then that was stopped by Charlotte Flair, that JD calls, so he calls her the android, which I agree with him, because she's always on television every week, so I think I'm going to start calling her the android too, because she always shows up on television each and every fucking week. Each and every week we have seen Charlotte Flair on television. When is WWE going to write her off television? I don't get it. Really don't. I don't even think they're never going to write her off television. Anyways, more talent than both members of the Moronics. So yeah, she was stopped. Liv Morgan was stopped by Charlotte. She was stopped by Charlotte. More talent than both members of the Moronics, and she takes a pin in an absolute meaningless tag team match. She did. So then, Peyton and Billy address Sasha Banks and Bayley and says that's what they're capable of. They challenge them to a title match right now, but the champs don't appear. The IIconics say they know someone who can make it official next week. I really feel like WWE has crossed the line, man, for some of the talent on the roster that Paul Heyman tried to build as future WWE superstars. You know, as the future of the company. You know, you all know what I mean. You know what, Vince McMahon, Bruce, and WWE, they've crossed the line, man. They just don't know what big mistake they've made. They just don't know the mistake they've made, but they're gonna learn. Sooner or later, like I said, sooner or later, Vince McMahon's going to learn that he made a big mistake, man. He's gonna realize, and he's gonna have second thoughts about firing Paul Heyman. Sooner or later, he is. I'm telling you, he made a huge fucking mistake, man. Paul Heyman and Vince McMahon never liked each other from the get-go, but still. Yeah, they never liked each other. But still, he crossed the line by firing Paul Heyman. What did Paul Heyman do to get fired? What did Paul Heyman deserve to do to get fired? He deserved absolutely nothing to get fired. He did not deserve to get fired. What did he do to get fired? What did he do to deserve to get fired? He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing bad to get fired. Nothing. Vince McMahon just fired him on the spot, man. Removed as executive director. Now it's assigned to Bruce. Oh my God. Which I do not like, because he doesn't write these shows right. Because I believe, in my opinion, Bruce Prichard does not write these shows the correct way. I feel like he just doesn't. So Christian was backstage and Big Show walks in. Show says Christian knows the perils of an unsanctioned match against Orton. Christian knows he only has two options: to go home and hold his head high, or to go out there, look Randy in the eyes, and tell him he's not a punk. Christian thanks Big Show and says he knows what he has to do. Natalya and Liv are backstage, and Natalya blames her for losing. So basically, you're telling me that you're blaming Liv Morgan when you should be blaming the IIconics, the Idiotics, the Moronics. No, actually, no. You should be blaming Vince McMahon and Bruce for booking that tag team match from the fucking beginning. I don't know why Natalya has to have the nerve to blame Liv Morgan when she should be blaming Vince McMahon and Bruce. In real actual life, she should be blaming Vince and Bruce. Oh man, this fucking show, I tell you, man. It's not even funny, yo. It's really not. I don't even have anything else to say. I was going to say something, but I forgot. The show was so bad, and I forgot what I was going to say. So, yeah. Again, Natty and Liv are backstage. Natalya blamed her for losing. She says Liv made a lot of rookie mistakes out there. I don't care. She can see why Ruby Wyatt dropped her. Liv walks off. Lana walks up and says she's sick of everyone else's mistakes failing on her. Natty says she knows exactly how she feels. So Christian comes to the stage and says he knows what he has to do. He has to stand up for himself. So he accepts Orton's challenge for one more match. MVP approaches Apollo Crews backstage and offers him his service. He tells him all the benefits of working with him. Crews says he appreciates it, but he wants to be a fighting champion. MVP lips the United States Championship and says the only way Apollo keeps the title is with him in his corner. So, commercial break. When they came back from commercial break, Ric Flair was backstage with Charlotte, and he asked her what's next. He wants to know who she's going to go after next. Charlotte says a lot of people get under her skin, but she does what she wants. She woos and says that's the answer. So we got Apollo Crews versus Shelton Benjamin, which I thought this match wasn't too bad. This match, it was good. Shelton Benjamin, I think, and Apollo Crews had pretty much chemistry in the ring against each other. Now, I can't tell you that Apollo Crews versus Shelton Benjamin, now that's one match on Raw that wasn't too bad. That's one match on Raw that was pretty good. And WWE is making the right decision on having Apollo Crews keep that United States title on him, because he deserves the championship. He deserves the United States Championship. He's worked his ass off to get to the top of the men's division. He worked hard, and he deserves that title more than anybody else right now, in my opinion. Because who else are you going to put the United States Championship on besides Apollo Crews? There's nobody else currently right now to put the title on besides Apollo Crews. So it's good that the title is on Apollo Crews, the United States Championship. So here's what happened with the match between Apollo Crews and Shelton Benjamin. We have not seen Shelton Benjamin on TV for about probably 3-4 months. Now they're just now showing him on TV. So anyways, the bell rings and they lock up, with Benjamin hitting the ropes and dropping Crews with a shoulder. Benjamin hits a dropkick, but Crews responds with a splash in the corner. Apollo attempts a second splash but gets caught with a German suplex. We see MVP watching on a monitor, and Shelton hits a running knee in the corner for a 2 count. Benjamin takes a headlock. Apollo fights up and they trade hands. Apollo ducks a kick and hits an enziguri followed by a moonsault for a 2 count. Benjamin escapes a military press and hits a roll-up using the ropes for leverage, but the referee sees it. Shelton argues with the referee and Apollo rolls up Shelton. Apollo rolls up Shelton and grabs the ropes to score the win. So this was a good, easy win for Apollo Crews. Man, this match wasn't really it was a little bit okay. It wasn't that much. It wasn't that bad. It was okay. It was a little bit okay. Alright. So after Apollo Crews' victory over Shelton Benjamin, R Truth is warming up backstage when Akira Tozawa and the Ninjas approach. Akira talks in Japanese, then Truth gets mad and says if that's the way he wants it. Truth poses like Karate Kid and they leave. Drew McIntyre approaches and says Truth was out of order putting his title on the line. But what's done is done. He asks Truth if he understands the gravity of the situation, saying they could lose everything. Truth says he does. So we see a replay of Asuka winning the Money in the Bank and getting the title in her feud with Nia Jax. They will do battle tonight for the Women's Championship. So to speak. So that's what it says. It says they will do battle for Women's Championship. So Charlotte Caruso interviews Asuka backstage. She asks if Jax is too dominant for Asuka. That's a good question. That was a good question from Asuka. Good question. If Jax is too dominant for Asuka, I'd say yes. Seeing that Nia Jax is WWE's typical garbage. I mean, why do they have Nia Jax on Raw? Why do they, or here's an even more good question. Why do they have Nia Jax in the WWE? She's out in the ring, out here in the WWE Women's Division, hurting all of these WWE Women's superstars on Raw. She gave Kairi Sane a cut in her head. Now Kairi Sane has not been seen on TV since then. You know, it's crazy. So, the champion speaks in Japanese, then translates that Nia started the fight, but she will finish it. McIntyre is shown backstage, and Truth approaches him. Truth says he fixed things. He talked to the powers that be, and now only one title is on the line. The WWE champion, Drew, is furious because if Drew gets pinned, he loses the title. Well, he loses his title. Truth asks Drew to believe in him, and he says he knows hard as it is to lose a championship. He's lost his 24/7 championship 20-something times. And sometimes it's even taken a few days to win it back. He reassures Drew that they've got it in the bag. So the Viking Raiders backstage with Big Show, and he thanks them for a fun night. But he says he knows how to settle things. Ivar yells carpool karate, and Big Show shuts him down, saying that's never the answer. Show suggests a tag team match next week on Raw. And they ask why, because we want the smoke. All 5 of them saying we want the smoke. So, we got Drew McIntyre and R Truth versus MVP and Bobby Lashley. Oh my God, I was not interested in this match. This match was so absolute garbage. I felt bad for Drew McIntyre being booked in this match, but being booked in this easy match for him to win. This was an easy match for Drew McIntyre to win. Easy. Especially for Drew McIntyre, given that he's WWE Champion. This match was all too easy for him. So here's what happened in the match between Drew McIntyre and R Truth and MVP and Bobby Lashley. So the title match begins with McIntyre and Lashley locking up. Drew forces Bobby to the corner and they have a stare down. Lashley slaps Drew, who fires back. Lashley hits a lariat and Drew hits a Glasgow kiss that drops him. Lashley backs McIntyre into his corner where MVP lands some cheap shots. Lashley hits a shoulder tackle and tags MVP, but Drew kicks MVP, hits Lashley with a spinebuster, and clotheslines him out. Then drops MVP. McIntyre readies for a claymore, but Truth tags himself in. McIntyre is furious. Drew runs right into a belly-to-belly from MVP. Then Lashley throws him out of the ring and slams him into the barricade. McIntyre is worried as they head to commercial break. So Backlash and Truth is being manhandled by Lashley in the corner. Lashley hits a shoulder tackle and tags MVP, who hits a big boot for a 2 count. Drew looks like he might be sick on the apron. He screams at Truth to make the tag. And 24/7 champion does 24/7 champion does the splits and hits a spin kick to MVP. Tags made to Lashley and McIntyre with the Scott hitting axe handle and a overhead belly to belly. Lashley counters the future shock DDT but gets hit with another belly to belly. MVP made the blonde tag, but he jumps off the apron and runs away. McIntyre goes after MVP and slams him into the plexiglass boards. Then back into the ring, McIntyre hits an axe handle from up top, then a future shot DDT. Lashley breaks the pinfall. Drew hits Lashley and they brawl to the outside, where Truth traps Lashley into the steel steps. Inside the ring, McIntyre ducks MVP, hits a claymore, and covers for the pin, but stops himself. He turns and tags Truth, who looks shocked. McIntyre launches Truth from the top rope with a splash onto MVP for the win. So after Drew McIntyre and R Truth's victory over MVP and R Truth, we see Christian wrapping his wrist backstage. Ric Flair walks in and says he's not ready for this. Christian laughs, but Flair says Orton has been on top of the game for 20 years. He's mean, sadistic. He's mean, sadistic, and gets off on causing pain. Christian is only doing this to prove something that doesn't need proving. Christian thanks Rick and says he can't let Randy get away with the things he said. Sasha Banks and Bayley make their entrances. Bayley says last night they retained their tag team champions in a triple threat, so they're ready to celebrate. But that's not all. It's her birthday as well. Bayley wants to celebrate all week long, starting tonight. Then on Wednesday, they will beat Tegan Knox and Shotzi Blackheart. They go home to SmackDown, finish strong. Sasha says she loves the sound of that, then tells the IIconics to never tell them what to do. She's the leader and Bayley is the role model. IIconics comes out again and Billy says nobody wants to hear their resumes. They just want to answer to their challenge. Bayley says, quick reminder, they lost last night. Bayley says it doesn't matter which team is put in front of them. They'll win. Peyton says they beat them last year at WrestleMania for those exact belts, and a loss cost them to melt down. Yep, their loss cost them to melt down. Kay says they couldn't handle the pressure then, and they damn sure can't now. Banks starts to speak, but Royce slaps her. Bayley gets angry and accepts their title challenge for next week. We see a replay of Dominik attacking Seth Rollins earlier that night. Rey Mysterio will return next week. Nia Jax makes her entrance ahead of her title match with Asuka. It goes on commercial break. Show was so boring last night. it made me want to turn the fucking channel. Really, I didn't watch it. Really, I'm glad I didn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it because I knew how terrible the show was gonna be. So I didn't watch it. I didn't even bother fucking watching it. Because it made me so disappointed. I am so disappointed in Vince McMahon, man. For real. These people need to do a promotion on having Vince McMahon step down his office. It's German. He don't know what he's doing. They really don't. Alright, time to tell y'all what happened with this Raw Women's Championship that we've already seen 2 days ago at Backlash. Why is WWE giving Asuka the same opponent that's twice as big as her, like I've been saying on my Backlash review Sunday night? So let me tell y'all what happened in this Raw Women's Championship match. So the title match gets underway after introductions, and Asuka goes after Jax with a flying armbar. Jax fights her off and rolls to the apron. Asuka attempts a hip attack, but Jax sidesteps it and lifts Asuka into her shoulders. Asuka slides down her back and chokes her over the ropes. The referee makes Asuka wait until Jax gets back in the ring. Asuka kicks Jax, but Nia punches her down. Nia gets cocky, but Asuka catches her with the armbar again. Once again, Nia rolls out under the bottom rope. Asuka attempts a baseball slide, but Nia catches her legs and power bombs her on the floor. Back live, and Nia has Asuka in a torture rack submission. Asuka elbows her way free and catches Nia with a code breaker. Asuka hits a shining wizard for a 2 count. Asuka goes up top, but Nia goes after her. Asuka tries Jax into the Tree of Wound and hits a double stomp for a 2 count. Jax drops Asuka with a headbutt, then lifts her for a Samoan drop. She goes for the cover. Asuka's foot is under the bottom rope. Nia argues with the referee and shoves him onto his back. He's able to disqualify her when Asuka rolls her up, and he counts quickly to give Asuka the win. Well, the referee was about to disqualify her. Asuka rolled her up and got the pin to win. So, as far as that Sasha Banks and speaking of Sasha Banks, so, what is it I was going to say? So it looks like WWE is looking to keep Sasha's streak of holding a title less than 30 days alive for a tag team title match that nobody wants to see next week. That I don't even want to see next week, let's be honest. And why are they protecting Nia? What reason would there be to protect Nia Jax? She is wildly criticized and awful at her job. Told you. I've been trying to tell JD the whole time. Nia Jax is WWE's typical garbage. Been trying to tell him. So, really, you couldn't give the most dominating women in WWE history a victory over the worst wrestler in your division, Raw. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, I know this makes Mr. Man so mad. Good. Needs to fucking stop damn fucking making these Raw and SmackDown shows look bad. So it's Christian versus Randy Orton. Yep, Christian versus Randy Orton. Hold on. I don't know why I peeped myself. I guess I have a problem with doing that. Because I don't think nobody be hearing me. That's why I be repeating myself. People are deaf. Yeah, like they can't hear. Anyways, let me tell you what happened with this unsanctioned match between Christian and Randy Orton, which I think was very, very fucking garbage. This match was very garbage. So before this incredible main event gets underway, Ric Flair comes down to the ring. He takes the microphone and tells Christian not to do this. Flair says he talked to Edge, and he agrees. Christian has nothing to prove. Christian takes the microphone and says he has to do this. The bell rings and Flair low blows Christian. Orton takes off his jacket and hits a punt, and that's that. Orton looks scared of what he did. Then slowly rolls Christian over and pins him. Orton rubs Christian's head and tells him he's sorry. He says he didn't want to do this and yells at Christian, asking why he came here. EMTs then came in and Orton even helped them adjust Christian. As they put a neck brace on him, Orton apologizes and rests his head on Christian. And Raw goes off air with Orton saying he didn't want to finish Edge's last chapter, or Christian's, but he had to. He blames Christian, but then he says he's sorry. This is his livelihood, and he can't let anyone destroy that. And that's the end of Raw. Randy Orton's the best, absolute best in the business right now. Incredible stuff. But this show last night was absolutely awful. It was absolutely awful, terrible, garbage. And it was absolutely fucking horrifying. So, folks, this is the end of your Monday Night Raw review. This is the end of your June 15, 2020 Monday Night Raw review. So before I end this review, I got a few things I gotta say. Got a few more things I gotta say. So first of all, we all know that WWE is relinquishing in the greatest wrestling match ever, Aftermath. So we know they tried to prove all of us wrong when we were all in the right. So Edge is legit hurt. I don't think so. The next option is Christian. I don't think it should be tonight. I don't think it should have been that night. Last night. I don't think it should have been. And how sad you think it is for Christian, y'all, that he was probably never factored into anything and is only being brought back to WWE TV to wrestle because his best friend is hurt. Talk about being used, abused, and manipulated. I can't even fucking see. When I'm sleepy, I don't be talking right. I can't seem to talk right when I'm sleeping. I don't know why. Oh yeah, and about Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin had cut a promo recorded earlier in the day. Hasn't been on TV since the Royal Rumble, and Apollo Crews, and mentions he should take the offer from MVP. How it is, he knows MVP spoke to Benjamin if it happened on the show, and his promo was filmed earlier Wow, that's something I didn't know about. That's something you all didn't know about, but now you all know because I just told you. And so let me get this straight about Bobby Lashley and MVP. So let me get this straight. So winner take all tag team match. Who wins what title if MVP and Bobby Lashley? Are we just supposed to assume why wasn't it explained? What a horrible logic. Who else is suspecting Lana to ruin this match too? Because Drew McIntyre and R Truth won all because Lana ruined the match. So folks, I'm out of here. This is the end of your June 15, 2020 Monday Night Raw review. I will be on here Wednesday night, so be tuning in for my NXT review. Be tuning in for my June the 17th, 2020 NXT review Wednesday night. Be tuning in for that. Because once NXT goes off air, I'm going to be watching it, and then I'm going to be doing a review on it. So be tuning in for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be releasing more videos this week, more video clip content, and more WWE 2K20 videos of matches from NXT TakeOver in your house. And some of the matches, a tiny bit of matches from WWE Backlash 2020, even though half of them were garbage. So folks, I'm out of here. Peace. Have a good day.